Alright, Putin moves south, struggle for the Eurasian heartland, modern war magazine war game from September-October 2018. This is going to be all about air superiority. I'm going to go ahead and play this out just to walk through it. Doesn't seem like it's very complicated at all, but let's see what the ins and outs are of it. So each side has these two holding areas I've been mentioning a number of times. So each side has a staging area. These units, these assets are ready to be used. The reinforcements box over here are units that are available to basically pay for to bring into play. So very different. And there's a Russian staging area and a Russian reinforcement box on the other side of the map, opposite side of the map. The Russian staging area is full, unlike you see here, where actually there are actually more units in the reinforcement box than there is in the staging area on the NATO coalition side. On the Russian side, almost everything is in the staging area. In other words, almost everything is ready to go. All Russian units are in the staging area ready to go. The only thing remaining in the reinforcement area is an Iranian Special Forces unit and an Iranian Airborne Division. So I thought, for the heck of it, what would happen if the Russians want to do a major air offensive concerning air superiority? So I went ahead and grabbed 5 air units. So I got 4 normal fighter units and 1 5th generation fighter that I'm going to commit to this air offensive. Tactical air power. I should use the terms right. This is a tactical air power unit, and this is a 5th generation fighter unit. So air offensive, it is the Russians' action. They have 9 remaining action points. And air offensive is, air superiority offensive is 1. So I know that the basic idea of an action is declare, pay for it in action points, and execute it. So let's do that. Let's do that. Air superiority. So declare the action. Again, this is going to be a Russian, what do you call it? Russian, it's not coalition, but the Russian side air offensive. I'm going to expend 1 AP, so I'm going to move the Russian action point marker from 9 down to 8. The cost is per action. Any number of air units may participate. So the 5 Russian air units, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's 5, doesn't matter if it's 1, doesn't matter if it's 10. Air units may be from any friendly contingent. I was wondering about that. I was wondering, can I add, a Kazakh air unit? Can I add an Iranian air unit? So I guess I can. I'll put these back, but I was wondering about that. So air units can be from any contingent. Place the air units participating in the action into the enemy staging area. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip them around like they were from the Russian side. And they go right in here. And I'll line them up here like this. By the way, in face-to-face play, these units would all be face down. So the Russian player would only see a NATO SF unit. Flip these over. The Russian player would only see NATO airstrike, etc. So playing face to face, you're not going to see all the details here. I'm going to leave these guys face down as a reminder to myself that's what it looks like in face-to-face play. Total the number of attacking air combat factors. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's where we're using combat factors, not units. So 6. Let's take 6. Use this total to determine the column to be used on the air combat table. Roll 1 die and cross index. So I'm going to roll 1 die. I get a 4. That's my result there. This will give an air combat result. Apply the result immediately. So on the 6th column, Again, the table's on the map. It's just to the just to the right of the coalition reinforcement box, but you know, for future, if I'm going to continue playing this family of games, I'm going to photocopy these tables so I can make my own paper reference sheets. But anyways, on column 6, roll of 4 is E2. So eliminate 1, 2, or 3 defending air units. So remember, air defense is factored into this air combat results table, so presumably some of these fighters were shot down, but the end result is still E2. Eliminate 2 defending air units. Now obviously, who determines the losses? Only enemy air units are affected by air superiority attacks, not the SF units. So only all these air units. So 1 Afghan, 1 PRC, and what, 5 NATO? That's what it looks like. Are eligible to take these losses. I should say, by the way, that the air combat results table goes up to 6. If I had 8 combat factors, I would roll once and get the result from the 6th column, and then I'd roll again on the 2 column for the remaining 2 factors. Yeah. And it looks like there are different rolls. It's not that you roll once and take the result from multiple columns. Okay. Air superiority results. So whatever air units are lost here are going to be put from the staging area into the reinforcements area. That's what loss means in this case. Wait, is that correct? I'm sorry, missiles. Missiles are placed in the reinforcement area. I think air units are lost for good. I guess I'll try to verify that. Air defenses, combat results against air units. Let's see. Attack E, eliminate 1 of the defending air units. Bombardment results. Who chooses? Units that are eliminated are placed in the eliminated area and cannot return to play. So there we go. So the air units are permanent. Who chooses? Who chooses? Garrison immunity, air defenses. The owning player always chooses the air units that will be lost for all actions. Combat results against air units. Alright, so I guess it's owning player. So I have to lose 2 units. So I would go ahead and choose 2 tactical air, NATO tactical air units. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to choose the 2 NATO tactical air units, and these guys are lost for good. They're put in the permanently eliminated pile. Now these guys go back to the reinforcement area, as I recall, but let me just make sure I got that right. Recycling special forces, regroup. Recycling air units. Recycling air units is not a separate action. Upon the completion of any air mission, that's what this was. This was an air superiority mission. Place all surviving air units in their sides reinforcement area. Air units in a reinforcement area can only return to play by conducting a reinforcement action. Air units that are eliminated are permanently out of play, to reiterate that. Okay, so nice. So actually, to permanently eliminate 2 NATO air units, that was actually a pretty good move, I think. Why? Because so far the Russians have always been getting, not counting the first turn, but the Russians seem to be getting more action points.